So today we are not doing any new information at all. We are just going backwards and looking at some important things that we've learned throughout the school year that are things that will carry over into future math classes. So obviously a lot of what we looked over at will carry over, but we're just going to look at some things that are those really, really critical pieces that you definitely need to know how to do. So these first 2 days, we're going to be looking at solving equations and inequalities and just going back and reviewing that information. Now, obviously, when we're looking at this, there should definitely be stuff that I don't even have to talk about. We have done it so much that you just know. So if I say something like W plus 22 equals 30, I mean, you should just know that you're subtracting 22 from each side, and we get W equals 8. Okay, we should be able to deal with that no matter what side it happens on and no matter what sign we have, right? So if we have something like -8 equals y minus 7, right? Our y is on the right-hand side, but that's okay. We're just moving what's over there off. Okay, and these are things that we have worked with so frequently that we should feel confident with those skills. We should know that we can undo, I don't know, division with multiplication. Okay, and you might write that you're multiplying by 5 underneath, and that's fine. Just know that we're multiplying by 5. And we should know that we undo multiplication with division. I mean, these are all skills that hopefully you're just nodding your head, yep. We definitely know how to do those. We should be able to do multi-step equations. So we should be able to deal when there's more than one operation at the same time, whether that looks like a large fraction maybe. So if we have a minus 7 over 5 equals 2, okay, we should recognize this large fraction bar means that we're moving the denominator first. And then undoing subtraction with addition. Okay, we should be able to deal with double negatives, okay, and know how to sort of clean those up. There's a couple ways that we can deal with things like x minus -4 equals 15, right? We can either know that two negatives become a positive, and we can change this into an x plus 4, okay, and then we can subtract 4 from each side. Some of us might still go the route of knowing, okay, we're undoing subtraction with addition. So we're going to add a -4 to each side. That's fine as well. And again, I'm just sort of running through and reviewing so you can see the ideas. If you really need to go back to starting from the beginning, you might want to go onto YouTube and look for those beginning videos. And I also have a couple linked at the top of this week's on the homepage. Okay, we should also be able to do inequalities. So really inequalities, remember, have the exact same steps. The big piece that we need to remember is that if we ever multiply or divide by a negative to solve, then we have to flip the inequality sign, right? So to solve this, we would be dividing by -2, okay, which is a reason to flip the direction that that inequality sign opens. Okay, that is if we are multiplying or dividing by a negative. So if I had something like W over -2 is less than or equal to 20, okay, here we would multiply by -2. Okay, that's a reason to flip the sign. But anything that's dealing with addition or subtraction is not a reason to flip the sign. So just sort of keep that in mind. We need to flip the inequality sign if we have to rewrite with the variable first. So if we have something and we solve and we get an answer and we get something that says -6 is greater than or equal to x, right? If we need to rewrite this with the variable first, then that is also a reason to flip the inequality sign. Okay, the last thing that you will see one problem of in the practice today is distributing. So if we have something, I don't know, 5 times y minus 3. I'm going to do this as an inequality, but it could be any direction, right? These parentheses tell us to pass something out through multiplication. Okay, so we'll say 5 times y is 5y. And then 5 times -3 is a -15. Remember, if we have a two-step equation, we're always undoing addition and subtraction first, unless we're in that situation we looked at with that sort of large fraction, right? That large fraction tells us to move the denominator. Otherwise, we undo addition and subtraction first. I'm going to squeeze this in on the bottom of this page. Okay, adding is not a reason to flip the sign. Divide by 5. Dividing by +5 is not a reason to flip the sign. So we'll get a final answer of y is greater than or equal to 8. If you feel like you are going through and you're like, oh shoot, I don't remember some of these other things, look at some of those videos I tagged at the top of the homepage, or I linked at the top of the homepage. Go through some of those and it'll have some more detailed explanation, and go back to sort of the original notes that we did at the very beginning of the year. Have a great rest of the day, class.